Welcome to the Archangel Michael's chat. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late, but you have a few delays every now and again, as you do. Everyone should be understanding of such things. Much clearer. I hope that you can. It shouldn't be muffled now. The little tiny speaker hole is clear. Well, it's been a hectic couple of days. This, that, in and out of people's chat. I wonder whose cage can be rattled this weekend. We will see. But we'll wait like we usually do. People don't come straight away. People are not quite interested. Not quite interested in my act of war. Or talk about peace. There will be no peace. Not until we grab it. But as God said, let there be light. And there was light. Oh, that's a bit bright. I might dim it down. That's a bit better. So, 2 minutes. No one here. Probably someone else on live, but you get that. I will continue. And people are busy. Friday morning on the other side of the globe. And Friday night on this side. Yet most of the petite people I detect are thousands of miles away from me. Hello. Welcome to the Archangel Michael's chat in YouTube land. Do not be afraid. I am not here to scare you. I will do the Lord's Prayer soon. I'm just waiting for a few people to pull up. I hope you're well. But as YouTube is a storm, some content creators are quite good. A lot are quite bad. And promote trolled activity to destroy smaller people like myself, just trying to make the way through. Oh, they're gone. Making sure I wasn't going to be saying this and that. Possibly a troll, because there was no like. Look, stay, go, come, in, out, up, down. Doesn't matter what you're all about. You seem to be all around. Crazy, but as I can see, there's no one in YouTube land. No one wishes to come and actually believe in the Archangel Michael. He's right here on a YouTube platform trying to get the real message of God out in the way that he wants you to be. But do I continue? I am not a failure. It is the failure of mankind that has no faith. No more pieces for God. Oh, someone is back. Hello. Are you a piece for God? Hello, Golden Dragon Queen. How are you? My first message. Well, would you like to become a moderator? Do you want to become this new channel? Is this What's going on there? I have to find out. You're going to pump this channel more than the Golden Queen channel? Is this the route that you were going to take? Because if it is, I'd like to make you a moderator. Oh, she's gone. In, out, all about. Well, yes, new channel, same basically. Yes. You want to be a moderator? I can make you a general of Sparta. You don't have to actually do anything. It just gives you a bit of rank when you hit the chat. People go, oh, good orange. Crazy. But I hope you're well. At 2 channels, now the other back up in 3 days. So, okay, was striped. Yes, I was wondering about that. Okay. I was wondering about that, Gordon. Well, there must be a reason. They must have told you some reason. So if it's personal, I don't want to interfere there. But, you know, some of that content that you run, you might have to chop it up a little bit more. I don't know. They might be ringing the people that content you're using, and they might be doing the strikes. I'm doing right, yeah, I know. I know you know the drills probably more than me, with disclaimers and all that. Because that's how they get us. Some of the content we use, they'll go directly to that people, say, oh, this person's running this shit about you. And they'll ring up YouTube. And that's how we get strikes sometimes. They do that, they're cheeky. So I'll do that. I'm doing it right, yep. Of course, you've got to come back stronger. If you keep trying, you're not a failure. That's the main rule. Yes, gotten to the bottom. Good. That's excellent. That is the main thing. Yes. Like my animation. I got to a certain point, and then they said, oh, no, you've had too much food today. Try another time. That's just YouTube sometimes. I think, I don't know, whether too many people are using it or just it's temperamental because it's me. But I'll make you a mod, and we'll go from there. The address the moderator. Oh, you can go that one. Thing done. Good. You're a top mod. But you don't have to do nothing at all. It just shows more unity. So when they sneak in to steal our likes and watch to see if we got any information talking about them and their flappy little beaks, well, see, that alone will have it going furious. Furious. Yes, I thought about that. She knows I'm a good supporter, see? And the way I walked away, well, not walked away, I got thrown away. And you, well, she wants to pull you back in and out and use you, basically. As hard as that seems, that's what it seems to me. Trying to get you to come in, and when you don't agree with all, get you over there, but still wants to pull you back. Ooh. Yes, a crazy, crazy lady. But we'll get God in the chat and we'll get that started. Yes, that's what it seems. Just crazy. I think it's just petty jealousy of a lot of factors, actually. A lot of things going on there. But you know, every time I keep coming back, must be God talking to me. Must be really starting to kick in. Because every time we talk about it, every time I might seem malicious, we got to do this, we have to do it. She has to get taught a lesson, but it has to be in a sort of a subtle way, but enough that it learns. We're not going to be able to get her up on a chat in a hurry unless we calm it down first. And that's not going to happen in a hurry. You know, you got to remember what's her experience in life. Yes. No, you've got to remember what's her experience in life, what she's gone through. From what I have deducted, well, just by listening to it, it's only had I don't know how many sexual things it's had, but two of them that she talked about was the one that, well, she got SA'd. So there's partially a problem with that one. She's a victim from somewhere along the line. So we've got to be easy there. So the tax really, not a tax, but has to come from a lady. Because if it comes from a bloke, she's automatically going to go to retaliation mode. Simply because of that first offense against her. Then, well, her best experience is having a man is he only lasted 3 minutes. That's her experience. That actually when she's gone and accepted a partner into the bed, the best experience she's had was 3-4 minutes. He was gone, finished. So she hasn't had that chance to pop off, I guess. And that creates frustration. That's a true fact. Back in the day when they used to have the sanitariums, back before the 40s, they used to take used girls in there, get a nurse or something in there, and they used to pop you off. No shit. Crazy. That was part of the thinking. Or to get rid of the tension in the woman so she's not so frustrated, you have to take her in there and make her have an orgasm. That's it. And I thought that, well, I looked into that, and that's crazy. So we don't do that practice no more. That's absolutely crazy. But yes, that used to be a thing. You look it up, it used to be a thing. And that's what you find as we come along with this identity and we start to push it towards the sexual preference, basically. The world's becoming sexual, just like Satan wants it to, because he wants to pervert that. And everyone has that sort of thinking. Well, that's easier for him to pervert. Hard as that is, but we are becoming a sexual race. No, by law, if we took our brain out, our memory, our thoughts, and our beliefs, and just function like what we say the animals do, well, what are we good for then? Breeding and continuing on. So the rest of it is just what we got going on in our own little chocolate starfish. If you really want to put it that way. But we have the ability, like I said, to tolerate, to accept, to learn. But some don't learn, like trolls. They've been in and had a little sweep through, stole some likes. I was looking just back before I started my live. Oh, that one's got one less. Oh, another one gone there. They must get up in the morning. Oh, I'm going to go straight to his little thing. Ha 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 ha. Crazy. It makes me wild that people like that hate just for the sake of hating. He's done his work well. Very well. If I don't find this Lord's Prayer, I'm going to start screaming. Oh, this is going to hit me now. It was folded the wrong way. Okay. With a bit more light on the subject. Okay. Are we ready? Then here we go. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but to deliver us from evil. Hail Mary. grace. Amen. Now we have God in the chat, and we should be right. And we should have someone hitting those likes. But there you get that. You get that in the big world. They are here to spy on me. YouTube, that does enough. Trying to see whether this guy is really him, or is he really not. But you'll find out in the end, no matter how long you live, no matter how long, I am the only one that he will be sending. And that's as simple as that. You have to get used to it. I've got all the pieces. I can't help that. With all the pieces that fit. It's got to be done by man's hand. So until I am complete, I won't get my halo or my wings, or any of my angel powers fully back until it's time till I complete my mission. Possibly when I pass from this human life. But that's it. That will happen. I keep telling people, if people, the ones, the unbelievers, and we all like God, they say God is just a concept of man. Well, like I said, if Satan wipes out the thought of God from people's minds, God's dead. So, in a sense, it is true. Only if God stays in the concept of man's mind can God actually have a chance and actually exist at all. That's the whole key. That's the whole key. The whole thought of it. Well, that's the thing. You know, the whole pattern is all set behind that. Unfortunately, it's true, no matter how we look at it. The Lord's Prayer, divine protection in a modern world. Well, it is. But like I said, they use, the other ones they use, you know, what was it? They use a lot of endings, but none of them use that Hail Mary. Now that Hail Mary is the ones that Satan hates the most. Because that's the ones that give the life. And he wants to pervert it. And that Bible, although they tried very hard, there's still a few women in that are written up as good. But the rest are seen as wicked, or do bad things, or portrayed as prostitutes and beggars. You know, that's pretty crazy. I find that total bullshit. You want to know why? Back in those times, especially when the Romans ruled the land, and the Jewish people were quite accepting of this, they used to have these things in all the towns, in all the places. They used to elect at least one or two of the people to that village, often females, to do it. They call them sexitarians, because that's where it comes from. You go over to Jerusalem now, there's some of the best prostitute parlors in the world. And that's the holy city, all right? Holy, all right? You think that went through? That's to get the attention of. All throughout the lands. So where was these prostitutes? There was never such a word. Slave, maybe. Beggar, yes. But prostitute, no. That was quite acceptable. That was one of the first real trades of mankind, of womankind, was man bartering his woman to another man for a night's pleasure. And that was your first pimp. It's been happening ever since. Don't you see? That's the real. That's it. Doesn't seem like that in our real lives, but you boil it all down. And see, that's how the times were back then. Like they say, well, who was there to see these 30 coins of silver that they talk about? Because that was a pretty poor country back then. Anyone that come across them would have put it in their pocket and took off. And that's the fact. You've got to look past the bigger picture. You've got to put your own humanity into that book to make it actually operate. Fill the gaps in. It's like breaking the bone. The people of the church will have you believe that's the full message. Believe just in this. No, because if you believe just in that, you'll never go anywhere. You'll just be stuck there holding the magic feather, and you'll never actually fly on alone by yourself. That's teaching you to have faith in an object, in an idol, in an item, in a thing. No, it's a magic feather. You've got to fill the story in. You've got to fill it in. You've got to look at that and say, well, why was he doing that? It's like, this is going to be very controversial, but it's a true fact nonetheless. And Jesus knew this because Jesus was a genius. Alcohol. Alcohol makes the mind susceptible to people saying things. What's Jesus' most famous trick that everyone talks about? Turning water into wine. Why? So the men and the people around him could be susceptible to his message. Plain and fucking simple. He was smart. He was crafty. He's crafty. But it's true. You work that one out. Look at society now, how we carry on. It's been carrying on since I opened my eyes. Liquor store in every corner, and a gun store on the other. In America, over the years. Liquor stores in one corner, liquor store there. We've got a small, tiny town with 1,500 people, but there's 11 pubs in there. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. And that's what we carry on. Oh, that's the demon's drink. Don't touch that. That's the demon drink. Oh, don't drink that. It makes you do stupid things. But it's okay to fucking keep turning water to wine and slip it to everyone on the side. Come on now. That's a fact. Why do you think the church passes all those kids? Fuck a big drop of, Don't give that. Every time they go home, TV, they would, don't take alcohol. Don't touch it. Whoa. And then they go to church, here, slip this into you. And the kids, they are fucking pissed. Seeing all the shit that they're dribbling into them. Puts it right into their head. It's called indoctrination by hallucination of the brain. Jesus was a genius. He had to do what he had to do. It was like with Judas. When they found him, he was a thief. And Jesus said, well, we're going to have to use you, Judas. They're going to probably write you up as a prick, but I tell you now, you're not. And he knew he can go out and do things for them. People say, oh, it's 12 men traveling around the countryside with their fingers up each other's ass. I don't think so. Each one of those men, most of them, had their own wives, had children, had slaves. You get that? The apostles had slaves. Right? They own slaves. They don't fucking tell you that, but they own slaves. So there was at least 120 people walking around with that little posse, little caravan, with supplies, food and sustenance. Boys that were slaves to look after the horses, after the mules, water them down, wash them. This is true. It even shows Jewish slaves for Jews in the Ten Commandments. So they're used to having slaves. They're used to it. Okay? They're used to having slaves. Look at the bigger picture. There was a big caravan walking around. They never bothered with Jesus. They could go throughout orders of this bloke Jesus. He's talking all this God stuff. Doesn't sound like the way we run it. We'll have to sit down with this man because I can hear him and sounds interesting. But not like us. So he used to sit down with all those so-called religious men, top men that were supposed to be against him. Oh, no, no, we don't like you. What a bullshit they showed you in the Bible. No, he sat down with those men, used to debate. Many hours, many hours. The best way God was to be prayed to, and the best way to talk about God. That is why they accept him as a prophet, but they just didn't accept him as a son. As simple as that. The moment Jesus went in and started fucking around with their food bag, by tipping up all those tax tables and all the money everywhere, he became a problem. It's like as soon as you start touching someone's money earning like these trolls and Maggie and all that, it's going to become a problem. Obviously, her thing's dropping down. That's why she's becoming even more of a problem. You understand? You take someone's earnings away from them, they're going to be more angry than anything else. Even if it is shifty and illegal. Because that's how people think. So you've got to be crafty in how you do things. Strange, but it's true. And Judas, well, like I said, with Jesus, he just said, come here, Judas. We're going to travel over here and talk to this group over here. But we're going to be over there in 2 days. And we're going to have been low on supplies. Now, I don't want to know where you get it, mate. Because I know your thing. Just go and get some for us. And Judas will go out and forage these supplies. Eggs, steel, barter, whatever which way he done it. He did it. And that's it. See, you don't understand that. Simon, who was St. Peter, he was the most loudest, the most voice that people would listen to. Even Jesus himself would hear him talking. Okay. You know, he had a more booming voice. And that's why he made him the leader. Because he also seemed to repeat the same message in exactly the same tone, but a little bit stronger. So that's why he became the leader. Right? But his best friend was Judas. Simon was not his best friend. He was just the leader because he was the best, strongest speaker. Okay? He's the one when he spoke up, hey! When they're arguing, they all looked at him. You know, you got Jesus going, hey, it's okay. You were this leper. Speaking like a fairy all the time. Ethereal and everything like that. How do we know? He could have had a husky voice. They lived in the desert. They lived in the sand. They're not going to have some sort of creamy, fucking milky voice. That would be very rare. Anyone had that there. Usually at that time, done times, special people with special abilities like that, they were locked up in those sexitariums. You know? That's what the world was back then. Under the rule of the Roman Empire, who decided to adopt Christianity and manipulate it its own way. But you also got other religions involved. The Hindus, Muslims, and also, you know, the Jews. They're all in play. All the Middle East, all in the same area. You like to think so or not. But these are all true facts. With the alcohol, that's it. I just think very well. But a cunning old trick, and people haven't worked that one out yet. Keep slipping the kids that drink, boys. Keep pulling in the dollars. And that's the next generation installed. So they know, and not only that, sometimes having a drink makes you feel good. Gives you that energy spike. That's when I say, see that energy spike you have now? That's the blood of Christ working in you. Yeah. Fucking hell. It must have been about 90 proof. So Christ's blood was supposed to be like wine. What's that tell you about Jesus? Every time no one was watching, he was fucking smashing the flask down or something. Oh, fuck this. I'm going to commit suicide. Well, fucking run, but I'm going to work this one out. Do this? You're going to have to help me. No, fuck, I'm going to get in this bottle. Yeah, did they cheat? No. No one's supposed to know I drink Judas. Me and you smashing this bottle quietly behind this junior. How do we know it wasn't like that? You got him all. No. I won't have that bit of bread. I want that piece. Just the crust. You got him all ethereal. He was a normal man. Come on now. He had normal needs. He had a wife. Mary Magdalene. Simple as that. As simple as that. He had to enjoy life as a man to understand what it was to be sacrificing himself for it. So he had to have some of the pleasures. That's why he had that trip. No, God thought, shit, this is the way you're working things, son. Well, I'm going to have to slip this power to you where you can turn that water to wine so you can fucking know your memory a bit what's going to happen. Because you're going to go from some shit, boy. And he did. One thing about that Mel Gibson's The Passion, if you've ever seen it, the part where they strap Jesus to the post and flog him like that, that is totally real. That's about as real as you're going to get. Okay, not so much the laughter and that, but those men too, they were drunk and they were flogging Jesus. So their minds were also, and they just didn't care whether he was screaming out or not. You know, alcohol's got a big lot to play in that Bible. Get your mind pissed, and you believe fucking anything half the time. Look at me. I was 17. No, and I just turned 17 or whatever, not a few months in, no, well, a couple of months out from being 18. Right? Pissed out of my brain. Didn't really take notice that the ignition had been ripped out and I fucking used a screwdriver to start him up. And thought it was their car, because it looked like their car. It was the same type of model, but it wasn't theirs. It was a stolen one. And see, because I was drunk, made that silly decision, ended up in a bloody lockup. You know, alcohol fucks the brain up. We teach kids every day, don't drink and die. Don't do this, don't this. But now you're at church, you slip this fucking blood of Christ into you. Which is 90 proof that we get down from South Australia in Adelaide. The best vineyard for the holy and all. It was true. It's crazy. The Vatican always pops in and buys the best bottles of these certain brands straight away. Some they just do it just for them. How many bottles of liquor they go through when they're choosing the Pope, playing bingo? It is a bit crazy. I know I'm stepping on people's toes about the religion, but why? Sorry, I don't give a shit. He can be a Pope to do handstands and clap his ass cheeks together with 2 crowns on it, for I give a shit, because, you know, he's just a fucking bloke. A lot of cashmere fucking gear with a lot of gold crap around him. Now, you know that guy, every time he takes a shit, they're going to weigh that shit, they're going to see the consistency of it, and they're going to fucking document it. And every time he has a piss, right, they're going to take that piss, and they're going to fucking document it, his sugar levels and all that there, and that Pope's life is going to be documented. Like fucking and if a hair falls out of his arsehole, they'll document that. Oh, we found the hair of his arsehole on a towel today when we wiped him. You know, why are we treating this man like he's God? He's just a man. You know, all this money, riches, finery, extravagance. What's the movie, like I said, with Sean Connery, In the Name of the Rose? They don't care about God or Jesus. They care about having a purse. It's all about the money. Take the money out of the factor. Where would any of that be? Where would any of that be? You know, we have to look at this. But we also have to keep faith. They say, oh, doesn't look over that. You've got to keep faith. No, not with what you're saying and what you're pumping. We can keep faith with God without even going anywhere near the steps of your church, pal. God is in here and in here, and you know that. But you talk shit every day. They do. Like I said, there's very little out there that actually preached a good message at a church. But at the end of the day, they're all money based. It's good to be in the Jesus game. Simple. You get 5,000 people to support what you're doing, and you can claim a religion in Australia. And once you claim a religion, you can become tax exempt. You can go and get yourself a $25,000 grant to kick the church off. They'll even give you some money to hire a venue to make a church, a hall or something. And they'll help you. And whatever you pull in, as long as you give in 15% back, what you get pulled in, back to the community, back to that church group, you can keep the other 85 in your pocket. Tax free. 5,000 people all believe the same thing. That's a religion. That's how it works on that paper, especially here. You got those big church drives over here. They're crazy. Like a big giant football game. 50,000 people there. Yes, yes. And God, we're going to have a song now and donate. Don't forget. Write the checks. Put the there. Yes. God needs your money. They will have you believe that God can do anything. And if you don't do it what he says, he'll punish you and put you in a hell worse than you could possibly imagine and burn worse than any burning could ever be. But he has the problem with money. God can't handle money. He seems to fucking slip through his fingers. So you got to keep giving all the time. And every time you give, the limo gets bigger at the back. That gold dish plate, new fucking altar, brand new gold plated gun from Japan. Had nothing to do with God. Everything gold leafed. God says they can only have gold leaf in their mashed potato. That's it, no. God says, it says here, and eat fish this way. We predict that the way to eat fish there. God says we have to wrap it in gold, eat it with diamonds instead of the eyes. Come on now. You have a look at everything they use. Saffron, which is one of the most expensive bloody herbs that you can get. Cashmere, which is the most expensive fabric usually you can get. They've secured 80% of this special purple type of dye you can get. Because now we've got a synthetic one. From the cockle shell or something. They get that just for them, for their purple sashes. The best stuff. Absolute everything's been sold with gold string. Well, everything's gold embroidered. Everything's so fine, like, why is that? How's that bringing you closer to God? Bringing you closer to being rich? Living like a rich man? Like I said, everything you see in that scene, everything you see, they had the cameras on. When they had that last poor black guy, Tote, no Francis, no second, well, why didn't they sell all that? $1 trillion worth of stuff there. Everyone's rent's paid for a whole year. Everyone's got food for a whole year. That's really what God wants. God was inside Nikola Tesla. He invented all these things, all these magnificent devices, and everything we use now is based from that. Probably even some he's theorized we haven't pulled out yet. Well, he spoke for the leaders, the synagogues, before 1900. And after 1900, when he started talking about making the electricity free, old Westinghouse reckoned, hey, that'd be ridiculous, man. Nothing in the world is for free. That'd be ridiculous. Free? My God, this man is crazy. And after that, he was seen as a lunatic, a nut. They're locking away in a science lab by himself. That's what happened to him. But all your world and all your fucking technology is based off of everything he fucking taught up. Rudolf Steiner. Now, Rudolf Steiner is responsible for basically 80% of the way we have education in the world today. He was the full responsibility for the walled-off educational system, which is everything is based off that, 80%. Right? Rudolf Steiner released what he was that smart. They believe they got a certain thing. I can't quite remember. It's the evangelistical angelic plane of knowledge. So he can look right back into the past, right into the future. Everything he puts down ends up coming around, ends up happening, ends up bound. Rudolf Steiner, he's on YouTube. Or you could sit there. He's got the blog, the lectures. He's got. You might like it. I do. But you could sit there for hours and he talks about all kinds of stuff from like the 5th generation, 4th generation, Lemuria, Atlantis, Archangel Michael when he come down just before Alexander the Great, all kinds of stuff. You know, what no spirituality is, the thinking of man, how man's think pattern is, why is it that way? So, he's a good person. He's everything based off education comes from that man. Same as Nikola Tesla. You know, he's the bloke that devised that. Well, how do we have an educational system? Well, you got some smart kids and you got some dumb kids. Right? So we put all the smart kids in one class and they'll go fucking straight up and there's our rocket scientists. And all the dumb ones, we'll just put them in the fucking shed and they can peel veggies. Right? That's how the thinking was. And he also thought up the other pattern. Well, we can also mix them together too. And that will bring up that elevation too. And some schools will follow that, some schools won't. So that's the two patterns. I went through that in both primary school and high school, where they will segregate the kids apart, the ones that were a bit quicker, ones that are a bit slower getting something. And then they'll reverse it the next year. They'll put you all together. That's education. Well, he started speaking up about education. He said, well, education should be free. He said, you can't go educating everyone, man. Don't be ridiculous. They become too smart and they know that we work for Satan and ourselves and we don't give a shit about God. They'll know that the whole faculty will come down. They'll know that the Rothschilds run the whole shit, the whole show, since for the last 600 years. Turned us all in from flat earthers into globalists. My God, man, you can't be like that. We've got to keep them flat-headed. We know it's the globe. We want to control it. We can't give them an education so they know what we're doing. They thought to be all fucking crazy. So he was seen as a crazy nut too. Two men that the entire world, educational system and technology come from before 1900 were geniuses beyond measure. After 1900, when they spoke out against the faculties, the synagogues, the churches, and the powers that be, they were nothing more than crazy men. The Rudolf Steiner Institute is the smartest school in the world. I think it's in Switzerland, but we also have a school in South Australia as well. They believe in the pseudoscience, magic tricks that can be performed, but they can't recreate in a laboratory, so they can use it as a product. So they don't give it any think or thought pattern. They know it can happen, but they just don't know. No, we're not going to teach that because we can't actually recreate that. So they call that a pseudoscience. And that's what they believe in. Don't so much believe in it. They use that in their educational system. And you'll find if you've got enough money to do to send your kids to those schools, those Rudolf Steiner institutes, the kid will get the best education in the world. Open your mind right up. Because you get to see everything then. You get to know what I know. The pseudoscience. The magic. Stuff that you cannot recreate. Man wants to control everything. And if he can't control it, he'll try to put it out of his mind. It's that simple. It puts it out of your mind. Sometimes they do that there because they see the pseudoscience as shit. You can't put any thought pattern to that. When those 4 people put their hands on that table, and that table levitates and there's nothing under it, right? We can't fucking put that out and open that one, even though there's a thing. You ever done that one? Where you got 4 people put their hands on the table, the whole table elevates, and you get 3 of the people take their hands off. You get right down to there's this one person that got their hands on top of the table and is levitating that far off the floor. Okay? Then they usually shit themselves and it drops. You can do that. That's a party trick. That's why they put the Ouija board in the kids section near the kids' toys, bloody near the kids' games. They know these things activate certain elements and certain gravities within, within the earth. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow them at all. Okay? They just do that. Oh, that's a pseudoscience. You see that one? But if that's the case, well, there you go. We got the church. They say all those strange magical things. Wouldn't that be a pseudoscience? And that's why you find you have certain schools that are church-based because that's the church set that up. And other schools, like the public schools, don't have God in it at all. Because they see it as a pseudoscience. So how can you actually get God really out there when you got the church rips you off, rapes you, fills you for the wrong message, gets you liquored up, right? When you're out in society there, when you're being taught that, an education system that doesn't allow God in them, doesn't allow God in there, teaches you all this, says that's a pseudoscience, but you've got to believe that. So they've already given you a conflicted message. When you go to school, when you go to church, unless you're going to a church school, then they can really fucking indoctrinate you. Really seek the message into you. But it's God now. God way they want you to believe God. They want you to believe God to be a drone so you can keep giving. And they can keep taking. It's like the Mormons. Well, the Mormons, the way they operate over here. When you become a member of the Mormon church, you get paid. They say, well, give us all your wage. We want a lot. And we worked it out. We put it in this system. And you get 70 cents back. And that other 30%, that's not going to be cash. Right? We're going to give you vegetables. We're going to do this. Make sure someone's going to do your lawn. And what they do is they get people in that community that have got those abilities, run the God bit by them, say, oh, you got to do this. So they got a lawnmower guy. They got all this stuff. Now, churches are supposed to be tax-free. Well, how are they turning this money over? Because the Muslims do this as well. Muslims are not supposed to be betting people. Okay? They do this as well, these churches. How can you give someone like you was earning $500 a week? I give that church $500 a week. The next week they give me $750 back. That's a money fix. That's laundering money. Something's happening there. But it doesn't look that because it's tax-free. Go and ask your true Muslim. I was asking all these Iraqis. So why are you smiling like this here? He says, not payday yet. And he said, oh, no, the way we do it, we give all our money to the church when we get paid. And our payday is today, he reckons, and we get like almost $300 or $400 more than what we give them. So they're obviously playing the numbers somewhere, investing or something. You find out that's what they do with it. What else do they do with that money? Put it straight in their pocket. Only 15% has to go back into that community. Good money in the Jesus game. That's the money. That's your money. You want to save the world. That's your money. You want to stop all this bullshit. That's it there. They really were using that money. They really want to get God out there. They really want to move God pieces around. Well, they'll be doing night walks. They'll be like security walking around, not armed with a Bible and faith. And they hear someone in trouble, go and help them. They got the money there. Fucking got a backup car and come around like the police. Pick them up. So we've got a drunk here. He needs to go sleep somewhere tonight. We've got the back door church open. We get him to come and sleep on the pews. You want to come grab him for him? Yep, we've got him. I send out one of those bloody drunk buses. Pull him off the street before the cops come and grab him. That's what they used to do in Kalgoorlie. My father, he was one of the ones that actually was right there. They institute that. Driving around a little 12-seater bus, picking up all the drunk Aboriginals before the cops come through and just lock them all up right because they were black and they were drunk. No allowed to street drink, see? Street drinking is legal. So they locked them up. And they thought, well, this is just bullshit. These blokes getting all these charges, all this, and then fucking they're just drunks. They can't help what they are. So they used to go around that bus picking them up, doing God's work. For their own people, for my people. And that's what they should be doing. I mean, you've got some do that. You've got some that have drives. You've got some that run orphanages. But you run an orphanage. You run an orphanage in America or Australia, you get funded by the government. I don't bullshit this bullshit crap. They have a ledger. They keep that ledger there, right? Then they allocate so much money per child. It's like voting. Each person's worth a certain amount of money. That voting mob gets 15,000 votes, or they get 15,000 times what their money is. That's how it works. So even a losing party gets cash. That's why they opened up voting for women and that, so they can open up more cash for the parties, for the top, for the rich, the politicians, which do fuck all with the money. Every year they're asking for more. Every year they're raising up the taxes. Here's the thing. Every year they raise up the fines for speeding, right? Every year they increase more cameras, more fines, more sanctions. And it's supposed to be a deterrent. You got someone say, oh, this is going to deter them from speeding and having all these accidents. Look at all these accidents. But every year they go up. Every year they have twice as much. Every year you fucking got more deaths than before. Every year. It doesn't change. The crime. We spend millions of dollars on the police forces. It's like Batman. Millions of dollars. Supposed to be this fucking great hero. But all them criminals are still running around. He ain't doing his job. The cops ain't doing it. It's not in the best interest to do their job properly. If they did a job properly and locked all the criminals up, which they can, and lock a fair bit of them up, you wouldn't have none of this bullshit, right? They'd have no fucking job. In a free world, in a peaceful world where there's no calamity, no problem, no rape, no problem worrying about who's going to be around you or your children, you wouldn't need police. There'll be no job. That's the fucking business. You're shutting someone's mouth down. They don't like that. They're all connected. They all got bagpipes. There's your ward-off system. You tell me in America that the police forces don't use bagpipes. Because I guarantee they do. Not all of them, I think, but I guarantee they do. Well, they used to. They still use them over here, use them all over the world. Scotland Yard was the one where you got all your policing from. And look at that place, the way you hear about that. All the shit that happens there, hangings and shit. Well, people got to look at the bigger picture. There's a bigger world out there. Not just the world that we live in. We've got to live that. We all know that one. That's a given. But there's a bigger world out there, bigger picture, different way of looking at it. An easier way, but it's so terrible, it's frightening. I don't want to open up your eyes too much. I know I am a little bit. You don't have to believe me. And the ones I do, it could be scary. Because then you start to see things. And I don't want to go and ruin your life. You've got a happy life, but you just want to come in quiet, be cheerful, get on with your day. You don't inherently have anything around you as bad. You just don't like the whole bad world. You know, some of this might not be for you. Might be a bit too strong. Might be not your way. It's not for everyone. I don't pray it's going to. I don't preach it's going to be like those Jesus men in church or whatever. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be exactly that. I'm just going to tell you, well, you believe me or you don't. It's your choice. But you'll find out in the end, I was right. That's all I'll have to say. I'm not a preacher. I'm a single father of two kids under me now. At the moment, that's about it. 50 years of age. Very interesting. So, technically, as an Aboriginal man, used to have a life expectancy in Australia. Oh, he's playing with his device and turned it on using some data, or YouTube just doesn't like my message, but I don't care. I'll keep giving it to YouTube. Well, we've been on now. Thank you for the guys and the people who stayed here with me. That is good. Very good. Very nice to have some people actually with me. 5 likes, 6 people. Good. Well, we'll go for an hour. So we have to slip into war mode and talk about the black vulture, or the owl, or Maggie, or Maggot. Whatever she wants to be called. I used to call her friend. Now, she obviously wants me to call her an enemy. Pity. I make a way better friend. You don't want me as an enemy. Not if I truly want to be an enemy. I won't go hunt you down, depending on what it is. That's not my nature. But time comes around one day, world's a small place, might just have to be walking in the same place. Nah, I remember you. That's when you confront them. They don't expect that. Also, I have a policy too. Anyone that's drunk, the ones have a fight with you. You say, no, you're taking this, they're going to really hit you. Then you can give it to them. But if they're drunk, they say, come on, I'll make you pissed. Going to fight you. I say, no, you keep. You're drunk, you idiot. The next morning, when they're asleep at home, you rock up about 5 o'clock in the morning, start kicking the door. Hey, you're going to be sober now. We'll see where your fucking mouth is now, where tough you is. Now you haven't got that Dutch courage in you. No, you only have to do it a couple of times. You do it right, people think twice about trying to rip at you. So they had to live a hard life. I can't just stand down. I'm a man. I'm not going to beat them all. But I won't stand down. Simple as that. I've been in a fight like that. Quite a few. One was, from memory, was in a Cody sack at a party. Some people were carrying on at the front. And then all of a sudden, all these cars rocked up. Basically, I don't know, some of the guys that come to the party were gang members. And they had some other gang members rocked up, and they said, oh, you can't come to this party. He said, but we know the guy. He's not a fucking gang member. He's communal for everyone. Well, he said everyone's allowed to come in. No, we don't want you. He said, I pissed off, come back with all these carloads, and tried to storm the whole party. And I had this big guy, about 6'7". He was huge. His name was Dylan, big bikie guy. We had beard all the way down, all the way. He was big, like a big giant, blonde, bloody bikie. Fully with all the bikie gear, with the bloody ankle boot come right up to nearly the bottom of his knee, all strapped up and that. And now bloke that was with us called Dylan Pocock. 2 Dylans. Dylan Pocock ran up, wearing his steel caps, and put him further between the balls, right in the nuts. This bloke just stood there and looked. And then he said, Michael, throw me that bottle. I said, you ain't going to do nothing with this bottle. Right? So I threw in the bottle. He grabbed the bottle, and he hit this bloke with a bush. The bloke just stood there and just looked at him. And he just reached out like this. He picked him up by his hair, and he went bang, and that was the end of him. And oh, jeez. He come over to me and said, how did this happen? I'm going to die. Well, I didn't die. He hit me twice. But I just grabbed onto his waist until he stumbled over. because I knew I could lift him up. As soon as I got him on the ground, that's it. I jumped on his fucking chest and I give it to him side, 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 side. But you know, as much as I give it to him, I just stumbled him off so I could just get away. But as I was getting away, he was still trying to reach for me. He was one tough motherfucker, that one. My goodness. That man, he just got back up and, oh shit, what are we going to do here? This bloke, he coming like Terminator. You know, that's it. Then they had this motorcycle. I just stopped. The whole fucking fight stopped. Big guy stopped coming over. I was ready to rock out the garden. I had to hit him or something because I wasn't going to fight him. No way. I couldn't even get a reach on him. He was too big. So we got to improvise. Plus, you got everyone smashing in the background. About 50 people were fighting. And they had this motorcycle coming. And that's it. All stopped. Because we all knew the sound of this motorcycle. And this bloke, his name was James Yarren, or JD, King of the Mountain. That guy I used to hire as one guy. He was the security for a whole concert. Held up a whole street with a hammer and a chisel. The cops are at each end. With the window wound down, still in the car. Now, calm down, James, calm down. Got them all lined up in the street. Was going to kill them all with a chisel and a hammer. Shot his own wife through the hand with a gun. She said, you want to shoot me? I said, okay. Bang. He was that type of guy. One of the guys that would come in to a drug dealer's house and say, you're giving me all, so I'm going to bash the shit out of you. All you want out of that is pull out extended bat and go click and fucking flog them all. They go their drugs. He was just, you know, a big, heavy, strong, crazy man. He did not care. And that's it. They had that motorcycle coming, and they knew that he favored the bloke that was having the party because he was coming there for the party. They stopped. And he said, what's going on here? Oh, nothing, James. Old voices went from, fight, not you, this guy, that day going on. Nothing, James, nothing wrong. Yeah. And that was it. One man, an Aboriginal man, James Aaron. I used to hang out more with his younger brother, Peter Aaron. He was a comedian. Oh, yes, I had some fun with that guy. But crazy, yes, nonetheless, James Aaron. But he's gone now, he's dead. That's the one that when I was in jail, when I was 17, he said, what are you doing in here, little Akbar? You're not supposed to be in here, you're supposed to be in kids jail. What the fuck are you doing in here? I said, I don't know yet. I was in this and that, and I've been charged. What? You reckon? He was the one that got onto the screws, got me basically out of there and got charged up. Otherwise, I'd have been there for another 3 months. With the whole lesson learned that they do to you sometimes. Just for being drunk and getting into a stolen car. See what alcohol can do to you? And me being young and silly, not knowing, I didn't fucking know any better. Until he started telling, no, not you, right, you come with me, little Akbar. I'll sort you out. He said, what should even be? What the fuck are you doing here? And that's when, like, one of the jails where, yes, you really have to have your ass to the wall. But I never thought men myself, an environment like that, attack mentality, could act like that, you know. That opened my eyes up, that little experience. I knew there was men on men rape before. No, I knew that, but I didn't know like that. And I heard the stories of jail and that, but you know, when you go see it for your own eyes. The funniest thing, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. We had this New Zealander guy sitting in the transport truck going between the few prisons. I'm going to call out whose name to go into which prison. And the transport truck was basically literally a meat truck. It still had the rails where you put the hooks of the fucking carcasses inside the truck. They just changed the air conditioning unit from a freezer unit to an air conditioning one. And we was all shackled on the side, sitting on the side because they put a bench seat on each side. There were about 20, 30 of us in there. There's one New Zealander guy, he was talking it up, even smuggling cigarette guys. Oh, well, we got to we'll tear it all up. And He was like full on man. And we got the Casuarina prison, and they called out his name, unlocked these shackles. He got his shirt, he turned it inside out, turned it into a bra, tucked his shorts right in, and all us blokes were sitting there looking at, what the fuck is he doing? He was just talking how he's going to bash this one, but now what the fuck is he doing? And then he jumps out and says, hi guys, prison system biggest queen is here. And I thought, oh my fucking God, we just all looked at each other. Did that just fucking up? Didn't he? What does it? He was in there talking man, all locked up. And as soon as he got his name called out, he tucked it in and he fucking jumped out a woman. Crazy. I seen that with my own eyes when I was 17. Fucking wow. I didn't know it could happen like that. Wow. But obviously he was like that way, and that's the way he thought he was going to make it. But that's how he jumped out. Oh, my goodness. Now he said, hi guys, the prison guards. Hi guys, the sister's biggest queen is here. I thought, no. We all laughing on the way to the prison where it took me, the big house. The big house is different. Where I actually was there, that was Casuarina. That's the maximum security prison now in West Australia. It's only sort of brand new. But the big house is where the real hard ones, where you're closed in, where the only courtyard you got is about a quarter the size of a tennis court. That's the only light, the sun that you get. The rest of it's all fucking walls. Sweat runs down the fucking walls. That's how humidity is in there. No air conditioner. It's like a hellhole. It really is. Overcrowded, hot, sweaty, stinking, full of criminals. Absolutely fucking crazy place. That's the worst place. Casuarina. No, not Casuarina, Cunningwell. Big house. They changed the name now. They changed them around. But that's the worst one. Because you're like this here. It's like you're in one big giant solitary confinement, but everyone's in the same fucking thing with you. So it's crazy. That's the place where you will get raped. Or things, bad thing where you will get deceived. That happens in other jails too. That's the one where it's like, well, where they turn you into a bit of a mouse. Them jails in Russia, fuck going to one of them. 12 people in that one man cell. That's crazy. They got now. Like I said, some of those American prisons over there. You were still there, Gordon. They wouldn't get me in them. No, that's some real prison there. Over most of the prisons over here is pretty much a lolly camp. You can even get PlayStations and bloody all your video games and that, but you've got to buy a bit more expensive ones. It's got to be the ones that are clear, so you can see through them, so you can't smuggle drugs in them. But you can go into the main maximum security prison, and he's got all the fucking Xboxes and PlayStation all set up. Fucking crazy. He got his house there, boy. He not leave it. He gets in. That's how big blokes like it and institutionalized. They get all that stuff in there. 3 meals a day, roof over their fucking head. They just got to take a room at entry job by like you're washing the dishes or go out and cut the roses in the garden. Sweep up. No, get yourself to spend money. Crazy. No jail at all. How are you going to rehabilitate someone like that? You know? They just go straight back and reoffend. But you got that humanity aspect. Once we got rid of capital punishment, well, went this way, that way. Now one moment they say, no, pedophiles only get a light charge. When they get out, we place them next to a schoolyard. Now they're going the other way around. You get convicted by being a pedophile, right? You've got to prove within a certain time that you're not going to reoffend, or they'll lock you up for life. That's one of the best rules that they've done in Australia for a very long time. Because it's very hard for them to do that. Once they're a pedophile, you scan the brain. And a normal thinking person, the brain has more brain matter in there. But a pedophile, right, has more white matter in there showing up on X-ray. Once that white matter's in the brain, you can't get rid of it. It doesn't stay as part of the brain. And that's a fact. Someone that thinks about touching children has more white matter in the brain. Shows up very promptly in the x-rays. You see the difference straight away. That's why these brain experts are looking at this bloke and they look at you funny way. Because they'll see what is white matter in your brain. That's the same as a pedophile. And it can't be get rid of. You have a test over in America, I believe, in some states, where they hook them up to a lie detector test to the finger and to the doodle, the penis. I'll show them a series of pictures. Right? Involuntarily, even without the mind thinking, they see something sexual they like, that penis will throb. I'll read your registration. Oh, sorry, you can't get out of jail. They worked it out. Not a single one can pass. So there's an uncurable problem that they have. Once you've got it, that's it. Reoffending level might drop, but it's always on their mind. When those children go past, they might not touch it, but they're still thinking about it. They can't get the thought pattern out of their mind once it's there. My friend J.D. DeLay, he wants to put them all in a wood chipper, especially the ones that have offended. He's also a great content creator about Diddy. And this is where it goes with him, because see, Diddy, they say, no, those children disappearing that he had to do it. So, he looks at him like that. He looks at that Diddy should be in a fucking wood chipper. Right? And then you got women in the street there the other day saying how it's wrong, how he should be free and everything. And another one saying, what, you want to promote a rapist? Anyone that goes out barracking for Diddy, they should be free. Well, they need to go in that wood chipper as well. He's got a good policy. He's a bit rough. He's fucking been in jail, got tats all over him. But he's really good. He's been around the whole America. He teaches at some places. He does rehabs. He's one of those rehab bloody mentors. Jelly Roll himself, the famous singer Jelly Roll, he's actually paid money to bring JD out to come see his concert. Then he had a full day with him. So he's knocked with some of the biggest things. And I've seen that man start off with last year. Now he's knocking with some of the biggest guys because he's against hurting children. As simple as that. And that's how he sees it. It's a bit rough, yes. Put him in the wood chipper because, like they say, that's the wood chipper tribe over there, and they reckon, well, once you're a chomo or a pedophile, that's it. You're not a human anymore. So in you go. But I like their way they're thinking. But have they ever really heard what the sound of a human makes going through wood chipper? Because they say feet first. Oh no, I'll fucking put my head first. I don't want to hear all that screaming and carrying on. Then you've got to go fast out of fact, whether that's murder or not, because you're not supposed to kill. So, you're in a bit of a toss-up. What you're going to do with them? You're going to spend anywhere from $70,000 a year that they charge through the tax, to keep that person in prison, just so you can understand how he fucking ticks. Let me give you an idea of pedophiles. Chopper Reed fixed this one, that was good. Like I said, why would they want to make this guy tick? So he knocked that bloke off. One of our another famous criminal, stand-over man. Well, that bloke he killed. He'd only just got out of jail for touching kids, pedophile. 5 days after he got out of jail, he got himself a 5-year-old girl, dragged her down to the park, threw her clothes off, tried to rape her. Couldn't enter her because she was too small or whatever reason. So he searches through a bin, pulls out the lid of a jam tin. Jam tin lid from a jam tin. Cuts her open. Then makes love to her in his sick mind. Somewhere during that process, that little girl died. And there you have it. So, the Labour government back then thought that policy, oh, no. They had said at time, they go, we should let him go, but no. He showed good behaviour and everything like that in there. They would have locked him up as long as he was supposed to be in there. The little girl will be alive. I don't know what she was thinking with that jam thing lid. What she was going through, that poor child's mind and her end. And then again, people are going to blame God for that. Well, God couldn't have done nothing. But watch. Watch all the people around walk on by. Watch that man doing that to that girl. Continue doing what he's doing. Because God had no pieces there. No God pieces. When you get saved and you're going to go across the road when you're a child, you're going to run across the road. Someone reaches out and pulls you back. But you don't know who it is, just a stranger. They're just doing the natural thing. That's a God piece. You know? Some teenagers now don't like one of these girls. We'll make out she's a girlfriend there. And in a crowd there, we'll get inside the door and we'll push her out. Bang! Oh, who's got hit by a car? Oh, so sorry. And they're laughing big league. Then they go on this year. Fucking go fund me. Oh, that was our friend. Oh, fucking get all this fucking money. And as soon as you close the doors, they giggle. They fucking like doing that. They enjoyed killing that little girls. Fucking knocking her off. Just so they can get a giggle. It happens all the time, people. Ask yourself, how do people die? You know? It's like my daughter, my oldest daughter, Destiny. Her sister, Haley Van Morsel, was murdered. And yet they said, no, can't put it down to any deaths. They didn't even say it was a natural death. They didn't even give us anything for a death at all. They found her laying in the middle of the grass with a low one. And a little lump on her head. Dead. You know, people there, no, don't know what happened there. Police investigated it all. Big blind eye turned on that one. Well, Haley and her boyfriend were there because they was staying in the back shed because they're helping the farmer cultivate the marijuana crop. And being down south in Albany and that there, well, the police run the marijuana business. It doesn't run unless the police run it. But down there, not on that scale on the farms. Okay? So, it was in their best interest to make that one go quiet. But we know who done it. We know who done it. And I said to my daughter, well, if you want me to, it'll be at least 20 years jail I'll have to do, but I can fucking do it if you want me to. I can sort his little problem out in the world. The world doesn't need him around. Not to what he did. But the life for a life, an eye for an eye, this makes the whole world go blind, as Gandhi would say. Gandhi would say that. Oh, eye for an eye. Yeah, but that's right. You rip his eye out, you rip your eye out, then you rip the other one out, then you rip that. That's it. You're blind. Doesn't work, that one. That's what creates wars. Eye for an eye. You know, how do you stop a country when you go into it? And you never wanted to rise up against you again. How do you stop it? How do you stop? Because if you take over someone, the next generation is going to come up hating you. They're going to end up trying to retaliate. So what do? You do like all throughout history some races have done. You cut the babies out of the women, burn them in the fire, and get rid of the next generation. So that doesn't happen. Kill all the men, subjugate the women. It's called assimilation. Mankind is very cruel. The best pearling divers in the world were Aboriginal slave women. The men up there, the black men and all them, they'll still have the best diver, but they're not. The slave women were, ones they dragged in from the bush. And I deliberately get them pregnant because, women, I don't give a fuck what your record says. Women can hold their breath under the water far longer than a man, but you need to be cunning, like a white man, unfortunately, or the men that did this. Only a man is this cunning, because even when the black man learned this technique, he started doing it himself. Okay, so there's not just fucking one bloke. We all got the potentiality to do this. You get that woman pregnant? Oh, Maxwell, oh, it must be, yep. 11:30, straight on the dot. Oh, Maxwell, stop it. I love this cat. He's just a big ball of fat. Maxwell, please stop. Okay. Wow, that's the thing. That's the thing. God, you took me off my mind, my track. Crazy. Well, that's just it. Well, there's a funny thing. Well, I've just about really begun by doing that. Crazy. But it's not all doom and gloom. The world is a good place. We could make it better. YouTube is a good place. We have met each other here. So it inherently has good aspects, good qualities. It's good shows. Not everyone's into this, right? But YouTube itself, well, to be honest, the way they let people around us operate and earn money through troll activity, through just being complete utter assholes, keeping the division, you know, those women up there, get them pregnant. I'm just reluctant to tell you, ladies, because it's pretty fucking sad. Man should not use love as a weapon, right, against anyone. That's the only woman should do that because they inherently can do something else that a man can't do. Not all yous want to do it, not all yous can do it. But generally, the female sex is the only one that can give birth to babies, right? So they used to get these slaves, because not only would they get an extra slave once they had this baby, sell that off their own child, own half-blood. Sell off like it was a bit of rubbish, like it was a product. They get the women pregnant. Tie the rocks on them when they're out in the pearling boats. Say, right, we want you to get this many pearls, and you're going to have to hold your breath longer than the men, because we want to make money. We don't care about your life. But we know there's something that you care about, because Aboriginal women love their children. Like, fucking really love the children. When they don't, well. So, they use the child inside her is going to die if she doesn't fit that culture of fucking pearl shells while she's down there on one breath. They'll keep pushing her under. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I tell you, sometimes you get a spike. Oh, they put that baby, and that woman put the rocks on her, say we want 25 shells. Even oh, sorry about that. Got the transmission going, so I got to get it out quick, the story, and we'll go. Yes, well, while they're down there, we're going to get 25 pearl shells. We're going to keep pushing her down there. So the Aboriginal woman was thinking, I don't want this baby to die inside me. So they used to hold their breath longer than any man could to get pearl shells. Yet only men are accredited as the best pearl divers in the world, when I fact to be different. And in 1937, a judge down here in the West Australian court said, decreed, there'll be no more blackbirding. And blackbirding was going out into the bush and stealing the black women and turning them into slaves. That means that the slaves were already in the system, were still part of the system. No, but the ones they had to leave the ones in the bush alone. And that's when they started. No, that was slavery back then. That's 1937. You got that, no, got that war in America. Where you got rid of this, no, the British side still had problems, still got a lot of problems. But you sorted that one out a long time ago. That was still over here. Fucking treating us like bloody animals. 1967, when we actually got registered as humans. You've been through a whole bunch of shit since then. America. Been through a whole lot with the racial issue, you know. But that's just it. It's like that all over the world. I mean, you go into places like Burma and you see the killing fields there, not just in Vietnam or Cambodia, but places around the world. We're going to be looking at, you blame this North Korea. It's only because you can't get in there and see what he's doing. Well, don't like that, so he's not going to worry about that bloke. He's a rogue general. But he was at the party, so that's right. He was at the party the other day. But he don't want to be at the party this time. He's going to be his own party. I mean, Trump's already going there. Trump's seen him. What Trump say about him? He's extremely passionate about his country. Like America, like me, like everyone is about their country. My sister Chloe, she's really passionate. She's really, really passionate about Canada. But yet she actually has, like I said, well, you actually could fit right into America because your accent is more American than I was waiting for that. Like the Canadians speak, but no, she actually got quite an American accent. Over there, they might be able to pick up on it, but to me, I'm sound Canadian at all. I was quite surprised. Well, maybe an hour and a half. I've had enough of my own self. So, this is the Archangel Michael. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the people here. What? Anyone in the chat? No, no, no. I can't see what's going on with the words. No words. Oh, what's going on here? Go to top messages. All messages. Okay, yes. Haha. Guys, how you going? I got it back. I just probably pressed something. Don't read this video contains open conversation and personal opinions, views. No, yes, right. It's true. Thank you. I don't think of that all the time. My views are not everyone's views. I'll even say that. My views might not be for you, but some of the things might be. Simple as that. That's exactly what, some of the real high religious men, like them gurus in India, the true ones, they'll tell you that. They'll tell you, this is the way I do it. This is the way I do it. And this is the way I do it. But you're different to me. And what I'm doing, although it sounds good, it's got me to this level, might not work for you. Okay? And it's the same with that Bible. When they teach you that Bible, basically they're cracking the bone for you. But you have to pull the rest out yourself in one piece so you don't break the main nutrients, marrow inside the bone. And that's the reading between the lines in the Bible, filling the picture in with your own thought of humanity. Like I said, back then there were sectarians. Alcohol was freely used. It wasn't seen like we look at it like today's aspect. Today, alcohol said told is wrong. It is still totally legal to buy it, right? Yet back then, like I said, but then you church giving something, not a message. Oh, come here, drink the blood of Christ. So what's the wino doing? I'm spirits. And they're full of spirits, see? That's why they're called spirits. That's why they're called spirits. Spirits, ghosts, they're spirits too, we've got a spirit in us. They're spirits as well. Felt the same way, I believe. spirits. They put that drink into you to get the spirit of God in you. You know, you drink enough, you start seeing fucking shit. Spirits. No, same, same drink you put in there, you can almost put into your car and start. Now that's one thing whoa, that's the true alcoholic then. When you see them drinking that turpentine or the methylated spirits, and they're tossing up whether they're going to buy a bottle of milk or a bottle of orange juice to get rid of the fucking aftertaste. Oh my goodness, God gracious. I never even tried. No, don't even give me that glass. Truth God, don't do it. I can smell it from here. I'm not going to mostly go down to the fuel station and pump it in your mouth. That's crazy. They go like, wah, wah, I can see it, and then I would sip the orange juice to get rid of that after flavor with the milk. Usually they drink milk with the kerosene. Kerosene! I seen them drinking kerosene before. Because that's a bit burnt, see? So milk gets rid of the burning feeling. Orange for methylated spirits. Methylated spirits is basically just alcohol anyways. But I seen them drinking it. Oh my God, no, really. Oh, crazy. Crazy, I couldn't even get a cap near my nose to try and put it on my lips. They got like this here, fucking rolling back. You good. No, no, what are you filling up a car? Crazy, crazy, crazy. My father is a mental officer. One of his clients, they rang him up 3 o'clock in the morning and said, you better get into the hospital here. He's drunk 2 bottles of Drano. So what's he doing that for? He said, I don't know. He's drunk too. You got to get him in here because he's screaming for you. He rocked up there and the doctor says, well, I don't know what to say, Richard. He should be dead. What? He should be dead. But he's not. So he must gonna have the cleanest insides in the world, this bloke. And that's all it had. It was just crazy. He just had a little bit of a blue shit, and that was it. Didn't like it affected him. And my old man said, why did you drink that? He says, oh, I was reading on the bottom there. It said it's got alcohol content in it. So I was trying to get drunk. Fucking crazy. And after all that, what is my old man going to do? Well, he got a little nick on his toe. He's bad diabetes. Got the glaucoma blind and all that there. Dialysis and all that. And he got the little cut on his toe. And he got seen his method where you put it in bleach. Put it in a solution of bleach to get the thing out. But what? You're supposed to put one tiny little cap full of bleach in an entire 20-liter bucket. That's what you're supposed to do. But he's thinking he was going to be mopping the floor. So he goes, pours in, a couple of things, puts his foot in there. What's he done? He gives himself a chemical burn. Never healed. That leg had to come off eventually. Started off with one, we're going to cut off 3 toes, all fucking toes. We're going to cut off foot, we're just going to go up until we find the vessels that are not crystallized. That was just me. And then they go, not long before he died, and that deteriorated very quickly. And me, myself, well, they were trying to hide it from me. I seen him at that foot wrapped up all the time. No, and I saw, right, it's just tender. I put it like that. He said, yeah, bullshit. When I last took him to Calgary, when I picked him up like a baby and that, and I moved around, I touched the bottom of that foot, and it was just like mush. His foot was gone. That leg was rotting off. I'm going to cut off another one, so he thought, nah, I'm not going to have dialysis anymore, refuse it. I put me in palliative care. And that's where he went that way. True way to go. True way to go, but like you said, that's alcohol. I said, Michael, alcohol is different than when back then. Well, he says, I was out by the age of 16. I had done it to my long in these messages. So it's too late for me. And as an Aboriginal man, we don't have a lot of live over their life expectancy, so that's one thing. 65 is the life expectancy. Aboriginal man, anywhere between 45 and 52. I'm 50 years of age. You know, the probability factor is high, but that's the fact. But with modern science and modern technology, the life expectancy has increased. It used to be 42. Aboriginal people didn't live bloody long, still dying at young ages. That's the way of the world. But we got to worry about YouTube here. This is this place. To try and free it up so we can have a good message, have a good time. Gee, I like it the way these ladies got the music going in that. You know? Yes, sorry, I haven't been reading much of the chat. I've just been, hunting on about the gripe of life. At least I'm not sort of picking on other content creators, deliberately saying, go out and let's get them. We're going to go to war. We're going to get her. But no one has to help me. I can do it myself. But preferred help. But we're going to have to attack it with truth and truth receipts. We can't just go in there, wait for her to say something, and then go against that. And that's it. Just keep bombing bits of truth in there. Bit of truth. Bit of truth. Bit of truth. Bit of truth. They'll keep sanctioning us. Take us out. Take us out. I reckon we need about 100 people. Just keep dropping in there every 5 minutes. 2 or 3 people, just like they do. Do that for a whole life, so the whole thing's ruined, and she can make all the content on the bullshit. And then when she thinks that we're going to go attacking us, she can look like a fool. We'll just stop and not even acknowledge her again. That's the plan. I want to ruin one of her chats, one of her lives. Why not? She does it to everyone else. I say personally, why shouldn't she get some of their own medicine? Like real, they try to do it, but they're not doing it the right way. The beak's still flying. And it's getting more and more pettier, more and more stupid. I really can't understand. I think some of those people in the chat now are staying there because they're starting to feel sorry for her, not because they barrack for her, believe in her. They're seeing her fucking burning and oh shit, she was all happy and go lucky, and now look, we better stay with her. She can knock us all off. Take that channel away from her. Take all that bloody YouTube away. Take all her channels away from her. Don't ever hear from that girl again. She'll fucking implode. Do herself an injury. Become a full alcoholic. So we've got to be careful. But that's what she wants to do. I want to see Jag fall. I want to see her fall. Because if she doesn't, then everything that Maggie's saying, just like every other person, will be seen as utter bullshit. And everything she said cannot stick to Jaguar because they're full of lies. She knows this. So she needs Jaguar to fall. To keep her lies. Reality. Well, only 2 hours, 1 minute 40. I've had enough. I'll get too angry. I'll devise a method and jump in there and do something stupid. It's got to be tactful. We might even put an invitation and see if we can bring it to someone's chat. Not to attack her, to ask for her accountability and the bullshit banter that she has. But see, she does not control that. She likes to control. Okay? She likes to control. And she likes to think everything that's coming out of her fucking mind is never wrong. Okay? She is all buddies, all bum chum. Best the buddies with Murph. Even when they first met, or as my boyfriend girlfriend one. No, they were best of friends. Then, well, what happened? He gets found out to be a liar. And now we got this case with Plotter. It's supposed to be a woman, which everyone thought was Murph there originally. So it's crazy, who knows? Maybe they live in the same flats. Plotter lives next to the fucking Murph. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? But the Plotter's mouth wants to keep going. He's got to face them girls. There's a girl. Can't come face me. I'll fucking relax. They're pissed off with your fucking bullshit. Yes, please hit the likes. Well, we did vote to go to war. Kangaroo court that. You got to get a lesson. I'm not going to be like them up, go in there, take the fucking likes away, be a jerk. That really pisses me off the most out of all because I know it's coming from there. I know there's. I can even picture it in my mind getting up, going to all our channels. Well, just gonna keep chopping out. People got things to me, bullshit. See, I'll even say that too. Bullshit banter. But a lot of us start using out free liquor, and they're more susceptible to what I am saying, which is also true. Or then you could see me with a mask on when you're drinking and say, I'm bashing this crazy fuck, and get flogged as well. So it could go two ways. I walk around like this at night at the front of the pub after they've been drinking about 4 or 5 hours. I'd probably get more into a fight than anything else. Because look at this crazy fucking freak with the mask on. We have to kill him now. Crazy. But what happens if I was walking around like this because I was frightened of me or something? That's just how society is. And again, you got some who say, oh, you're that bloke there, that fucking, that anonymous fella. No, not him. He's a pussy. He's anonymous. I'm Archangel Michael. I tell everyone who the fuck I am. He was a faceless. See, that's what another thing. They made that the hero, but he was faceless. Everyone's doing the same. I reckon the ones that don't cam up, we just don't worry about them. Oh, but they're hard now. No. Stop that bullshit. That's another way of division. Fuck your Facebook shit. Let's get back to face to face. Happened with me and Gordon. Once we came that face to face, and yes, I understand. They were still, they didn't show up, but they have. After, at the time, I can understand. It's totally their prerogative. But I kind of don't like it. Myself, why am I here like this? Half the time I don't go, I just say, oh, I can't come up because I don't have the ability to chuck up avatars and shit, and I don't really want to do that. Sometimes it's just too hectic with the kids and the noise, shit going on in the background. Well, this is the Archangel Michael. Been on for an hour and 28 minutes. So that's pretty cool. And I'll be 7 people here, 7 likes, so we've got a even polarity. What dropped out again? Goodbye, Joe. Ah well. Yes, I know you're still listening. Me too. Getting around doing things. Buttering bread for kids for sandwiches. Just the way it is. Sometimes I think we do this because, well, in our immediate life, we might have friends, but just a bit lonely, a bit bored. And I love talking on YouTube and knowing people on YouTube because there are different aspects, different things you can learn. Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming. You are all great news, guys. You really are. We all don't get many people view us, many people come and watch, but we all still running it like we the biggest channel going and we got thousands of people watching. Please, like, no, that's it. That's what we got to do. Keep that little professional attitude going for us. Keep a little bit as best as we can. And promotion of each other going. You'll be quite surprised how strong we will become. All of our channels will slowly elevate together until we're still there and bang. Good luck for them. But I try and reckon that we should all try and elevate us up at the same level. So then we could get as big as these. Oh, don't have to get really big. Look at Maggie. No, she's not that big at all. Monetize and all that there. And they can get as big as my sister Roma, who can earn anywhere up to $60,000 or $30,000 just off YouTube alone, maybe more, which she has actually gone into because she does a bit of advertising for their colognes. It's activist, well, that goes par with the course, I guess. But yes, I get that. I spoke to her early on today. She was getting on me that she wanted some ice cream. I said, well, I can't help that. I'm 15,000 k's away. You have to wait. All that money into one fucking ice cream. Crazy. What can I do? She's a good person. She is. She's got a lot of problems like myself. So, that says nothing, you know. Oh, look at them, how they like it. Come on, Maggie. We're fucking 15,000 k's apart. There's nothing, you know. What the fucking crazy. Wow. So crazy, Maggie. You're not, Maggie. I'm sorry, but you're not. You're not. Crazy. Yes, crazy. I know. I really don't know how her mind ticks anymore, to tell you the truth. And yeah, why she's so crazy. Because I could just see it. I can actually see it. She's 30. She ain't going to change. She wants Jack to fall because she's dribbling that much shit without that fucking Jaguar falling. All her shit will fucking be coming out. That shit. She'll be exposed. Oh, I know people like that as well. They will never fucking admit the truth. Never openly say out to anyone that they know that person, never do anything like that there to exonerate a lie. When they know in their heart that they're lying. So in the end, they're just plain evil. Plain simple evil. Go on, continue using the excuses why they've done that wrong thing and keep turning it back onto you, making you feel guilty for something they did. When morally in your mind, you know they're talking shit, and what you want was right, what they're doing is a lie. People like that, you know. AT2 is like that, you know. He don't care. He's a product. That's who I found out about that. I never even heard of that. Oh, we're the school of villainy. Where we like to be. We don't care. We want to make money. We can. We want to bag someone, do something. That's how we're going to do. We don't care. She knows all about that, obviously, because they're part of the same school. No, that's it. And that's it. You know, it's funny though. All those dots do go back. A lot of them go back to that Atwood. But you still have Jag that says he's got his thinking trash. And he's about to come and grab it and leave. But she hasn't really outrightly attacked him in any other way. And then you've got Dick saying, you know, step back from him as well. He might not be the guy. I think there's another one. So, I don't know. There's two good women there that, you know, are saying, leave that one alone. So it's something. So maybe I'll just leave him alone for now. But those receipts keep showing up on his fucking boat floating around in those bottles that he keeps sending. Well, sorry, I can see evil. You might not want to be seeing it. And he might not inherently be evil himself. Well, that's wrong. Okay? That's wrong. All those lies, all that drugs that he sold. Come on now. Just because you go and fucking talk to a Jeebus guy and say, oh, I'm sorry for that. No. That's like the Italians. Like the same thing again. Go out and murder someone, go and talk to that bloke in the box. I murdered someone, your father. What? You're exonerated from that in God's eyes. Slip up. Just the way I see things, guys. And if you put them aside and got a red hot poker, and not put it up their bum or anything like that, just put it between their fucking little. Ah, yes, I know it's cruel, I was vicious, but you get them to sing. Straight away. That's a very painful spot, that one. You don't have to put much. You can just get a pin, actually, from a needle and pin box. Have them there. Put a pin through that part of the foot. You watch them squeal. They'll give you the truth. But I say, oh, but that's under coercion. Well, he wouldn't tell us any other way. What else are we supposed to do? We know he fucking did it. We want to know where he put the body. So we're going to fucking torture him until he tells us. But they don't. They let him sit there and rot in their own little mind, smiling to themselves. Ah, I still got that last victim that they didn't get, and they wanted so bad, and I got to bury it up there, thinking how I just mine, that's my little prize. No, nah, you go in there with that little poker, I said, that little needle kit, roll him open. That's what are you doing? So, it's for my acupuncture, right? I'm going to do this to you. You're going to tell me everything that I want to know. They retaliate at first and that, but once you got that first pin in and they don't move, they're wondering what the fuck you've just done to them. They see everything, feel everything, hear everything, but their body just doesn't move. Little spot in the back of the neck, just push it in there, chook, done hurt. Don't cause no damage, just shuts the fucking nerve down. Body don't move no more. Pressure points, I know them all over the body. I have to roll them, I'm a weapon. It's like the Terminator, he had to know the anatomy of a human, so he become more efficient killer. I read the anatomy of humans through the Gray's Anatomy, a book that they usually, they still the best book that you go to when you want to learn to be a doctor. Shows you the ins and outs and arseholes, everything, how to rip apart of a body, all the whole bit, even how to perform the autopsy. That was done in the late 1800s. It's still one of the most popular books today. A perfect description. Might be updated a little bit, but they still use that one. Not that Gray's body anatomy you think on TV. Fucking Jesus, get out of it. The actual book that you need to go and study to become a doctor. Got the full book about this thick, full of how to chop up a human body. When you pull this part apart and pull that part apart and pull that, you know, and it turns into all little bits. That's how I know you can get a human body skeleton once you've taken all the meat off it. They put it in acetone, right? And all the white material inside your bone will come out in that acetone after a few weeks. And you pull that skeleton out, it'll be a clear skeleton because that's just gelatin left in. Total clear skeleton. And you render out all the fucking white matter in it. Yeah, well. And how would they know that unless they've done it? Well, I'll leave you pondering all these questions. I am not against Jesus, especially with that alcohol. But there is a bit of a point. Society teaches us not to drink, but you go to a church and they say it's the blood of Christ. Alcohol makes the mind function in a funny way. It's susceptible to what people say. I'm productive. I went to jail because of that bullshit. Jump in, Michael. I said, yeah, did I look like your car? Yes, our car fucking got you. Jump in. Yeah, ticket. Should have just leant forward and looked over him and would have seen that the fucker. I said, nah, I'm not getting in there. That's stolen, you bastard. I can see the ignition. If I would have seen that, I would have never gotten a car. I just didn't want to walk from where I was because I was drunk. And knowing my luck, the police would have pulled me up. Oh, you're drunk. Oh, in a drunk tank for the night. 24-hour fucking jail. Let you out in the morning. Sleeping in the cold cell. Fucking freezing. The breeze, no window. The breeze just comes straight through the bar, straight onto you. Crazy. But that's it. Alcohol does that. You've got to look at that one. And Jesus knew, well, you got all these people, the sectarians, you got these Jews that are supposed to be God's favorite people, slaves, even some of them might have slaves. How am I going to fucking work these guys out? Oh, they like drinking that piss. Oh, I'll make some of that go off and roll out. And now start listening to me. So imagine that. He's the man that's got a perpetual keg of wine. Never ended and stopped, never stopped. No, just keep the party rolling, boys. And that's a running joke with the Aboriginal people here. They say, that's how you know he was a black fella. I said, why? He says, because no black fella say, hey, boys, keep the party rolling. I said, your mind's fucking out there, you boys. It was good. But it could not be far from the truth. Because Mary, she was half Nubian. The oldest pictures of Jesus and Mary in the world are in Russia. When they put them up, they're fucking jet black. Okay? Mary in her son. Well, Mary's jet black. Jesus is a little bit more fairer. That's why Mary was ousted. That's why she had no one. That's why she had no one. Because she was a Nubian slave. Half Jew, half Nubian. Probably a product of like what I said. That man had a slave, bred with it. Because it was a girl slave, wasn't as worth as much as a boy slave. So they threw her back out into the wilderness. Oh, that's not worth no money to me. Throw away. And she found a bit of leniency at a village to keep her around. She was half black. Mary was half black. Simple as that. See what I started saying that? No. Joshua not, but he was black. Wasn't black. He was a fair color. Right? But he still was a black man. He still had that Nubian. That's why when they say the beautiful, but you have a look at the rest of them around there. Look at the rest of the disciples. They look like they're being bashed with a stick. All the Jews, they got fucking big, they look like the fucking, the Germans from World War II when they used to propaganda against them. All fucking smelling like camel spit and fucking stinking the bloody goat and all that there, no brushing teeth and fucking wow, man, wow. Come on now. It's a filthy fucking place. Sectarians, you go to Jew, you go and look it up, go and look it up. There's sectarians in the world or in Jerusalem. So don't talk to me bullshit today, fucking bashing fucking prostitutes and shit. That was the fucking very first profession ever invented, was prostitution. That's the first profession. That's the first profession out of all of them. Before carpentry, before fucking a fucking mechanic, for any of those, for engineer, for surveyor, the first profession was fucking prostituting of the body. It was prostitutions. Simple. That's the first business. The very first business humankind opened up was fucking selling the women off for sex. And it still hasn't stopped. Now look at it. They go and kidnap someone. Fucking, they know they can make $200,000 off a year, or the bloke's raping her. But they don't care. They just keep pumping them full of drugs, keep them there, keep them going. And then when they're ready to sell them, they do a deal. Say, "Oh, well, these girls are pulling me in $200,000 a year. You give me that $80,000 check, and you can have that one." Because she's getting a bit of a problem. She's getting a bit old. I like the younger ones to keep them fresh. So once they get to about that fucking 22 age, they slip them off somewhere else, or they slip their throat. They go, that's it, finished then. Their life to them means nothing. Life to them means nothing. If you're going to treat people like that, it means you don't fucking concept of life. You don't even go to trial. You just walk straight up, put a bullet in your head, and be done with it. That's what God wants you to actually do. But He says you can't kill. So you're going to have to devise a method. Right? But He don't want them around. He knows man's smart enough to work out a system where they can be unalived without us actually killing them. Okay? Put them in a big coliseum. Put a fucking single knife in the middle and say fucking 1,000 men enter, 1 man leave. Go for it. That 1 man that leaves, you get to stay in prison for the rest of your life. But you live. You watch him go for it. Used to be entertainment one day. They used to fucking no TV, no YouTube. Let's go to the Coliseum. What? Oh, the Emperor's chuckling on the Colosseum. The Colosseum! Let's go. Oh, I'm going to the Colosseum. You got tickets to the Colosseum? Hey, ticket to the Colosseum, ticket to the Colosseum. You want to go to the Colosseum? What are you doing? Or checking 2 Jews to a lion. And then we got bets on the lion. No, Brian's got the odds on that one. There's going to be a couple of gladiator fights. We're going to flood the whole fucking arena, and then we're going to recreate the whole stage with the boats coming in a full war, where the Saracens die. You know, then after that, they were going to untake all the water out. And we're going to have this fucking chariot race. Oh, we're going to put on a show. We're going to be blood all over there. Yes, we're going to have about 10 of those. We're going to put on the exhibition match before the main event. And that was your TV. That was your show. And if you got a ticket to the fucking, that was like, wow, shit. You know, I got to go to the fucking Emmy Awards. Nowadays, we got YouTube TV. You know, that's all that type of stuff. So look at the bigger picture back then. Oh, that was cruel, that was mean. Yet, but we'll sit back on TV and watch an entire movie about war where you see fucking hundreds of thousands of people die. See, you know, what's that one about Hiroshima? Boof, first fucking 50,000 people in one blow. Boof. You're sitting there watching it like to see one. Oh, that shit to the Coliseum was pretty bad and brutal. But we're sitting back doing the same. It's just we're not sitting in a big fucking ring. Same shit, different day. That's the bigger picture. That was the edge. That was it. Then that was all the rage. Oh, we'll go to the Coliseum, and then we'll go down and we'll drink some of that fucking fermented mead that they're serving down there. That costs us only 2 sesterces. And then we'll go over there and we'll go to that sexitarium. And that the other half of sesterces, yeah, we get 3 women for that. True, yeah. What about that other higher class place where you pay a full sesterces for? Oh, yeah, but you know, they're nice, but you know, that's a bit much when you can get 3 for the same price. And they'll go in there and start bartering over the woman what they're going to pay the price for the sex. It's a fucking big thing. In fact, you can't walk into a secretariat over in Jerusalem unless you barter for a price. So they say, oh, well, we'll give them one of the worst ones. Crazy. Crazy. You know, crazy. But that's it. You got people, they love drinking piss. They're supposed to drink. People love fucking. No, the most holiest. It is the most holiest. It's got it right. Got it right. And that's not for being fucking religious. The most holiest place in the world. Or the most fucking Jerusalem. You want anything done. You want to have any sexual fucking pleasure, anyone that you want, from anything your little mind can imagine, go to Jerusalem, to the holy city. That's where all your sexitarians are. We got a place like this called King's Cross over here. Another place next to that's called the Wall. That's where you see all the prostitutes lined up along the wall, including men. That's what my father said. He said, if you ever live a life like me, and you find yourself on that wall, you know you're in a bad situation. So I never questioned him about that part. But I gathered he had been on that wall. Survived. So that's the way it is. Well, it's the Archangel Michael. She truly doesn't have any contact. No, she doesn't. She has nothing without Jack. Nothing, not a thing without Jack. The channel became a channel because she was barracking for Jack. And she actually met Jaguar. Jaguar required to put some shit on. No, you see, Maggie. See, the one thing with Maggie, she actually can do good stuff. She actually can put stuff together properly. But lately, since she's broke away from Jag, she hasn't been doing that. She's using her systematic mind to do evil. Simple as that. Okay? It's as simple as that. And then she gets with Jag, and now she's with Jag, and so it's in the best interest. I want to keep going until Jag falls. That's not allegedly. She said that plain and simple. I'm not going to pick what she fucking says. I'm not as petty as that. People are so petty. Oh, you prove it. That's like someone sending someone money because you want to see them, and their excuse is, I never forced that person. You know, that's the most childish thing I could ever hear anyone ever say. That shows me that person is just so self-centered and so evil and so childish that they'll never admit that they're wrong. Pathetic. We also have another word for that. It's called a narcissist. I know what that is. Don't you? Well, this is the Archangel Michael signing off for now. Thank you, coming, Gigi Eyes. Thank you, all those that came in, and Gordon and Nut. Thank you all. Sorry for not reading most of your stuff. Just bantering on, trying to get these things off my mind, to clear my mind to be able to do better things. Function for myself, my family, and my friends. And I'm learning that I'm making new friends. I never knew I could make the friends online. Like I said, I always thought this bullshit, but it is not the way the world. So, why cannot the war of heaven be online either? This is the Archangel Michael saying, see you later for now. And I will advertise when I go on again next. This time I might come up with a bit more content on everyone, just to see where everyone's going. Goodbye for now, and God bless. Thank you, guys. I can't get this bloody thing to work. He's going down. Thanks, guys.